We all know that a cryptocurrency needs to have regular updates and numerous use cases in order to stand out and remain competitive. With this, Ripple is said to launch an exchange for institutions that could make its price skyrocket to $35. Welcome to Crypto Live. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our upcoming videos about cryptocurrencies. Recently this November, Ripple made an enormous announcement about a new exchange. In fact, that's going to power the world of some of the largest players in crypto, and in this segment, I will tell you more about it. Apple CEO Tim Cook has just revealed what his position is on Bitcoin. In addition, an outside attorney covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, Mr. Hogan, discusses the next motion that will be ruled upon and why it is in fact the most significant. So in this channel, we will cover cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance right now, including the Ripple versus SEC case. Now, let's get started. Let me first talk about what Tim Cook, the chief executive officer of Apple, just said in an interview that was just published by CNN on his views on Bitcoin last November 9th. His point is that he owns Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. Obviously, this isn't breaking news, as you hear about this every single day on your CEO announces they already own Bitcoin and Ethereum. Apparently, Tim Cook holds Bitcoins and Ethereum, but has also been researching them for a while. Undoubtedly, there will be some wild speculation about what Apple's CEO might be able to implement in terms of cryptography and applications in their products, and honestly, the sky is the limit. However, on-chain analyst Will Clemente commented on Tim Cook's comments about the cryptocurrencies in his tweet. So Clemente tweeted out and said any other conduct by a company CEO would be irresponsible at this point, and he's exactly right. Am I correct? Now let's discuss Ripple versus SEC. Judge Netburn had ruled that about the second week of November, essentially that Ripple had to provide the SEC with recorded meetings that the SEC wants to hear, and the judge ordered that Ripple do so. I believe this is one of the very few motions that have gone against Ripple in terms of actually requiring them to produce documentation for the SEC or the judge. As of yet, none of the SEC's documents have been turned over despite being ordered to do so. Nevertheless, there's going to be a major motion coming up soon. Jeffrey Hogan, who is an outside attorney who works on this, tweeted his thoughts on the matter, and he said that, in fact, the next motion is the one that ends up being a motion. Further, a motion by the SEC to strike Ripple's fair notice defense means that Ripple wants to use the fair notice defense during a court case. Also, the SEC doesn't want to allow them to use it, so they want the judge to strike the motion. Currently, that is a motion that hasn't been decided, and there is no date as of yet for her to decide. But according to Jeremy, that's the next one that needs to be decided. So could she shut down Ripple's fair notice defense or prevent them from using it if she decided in favor of the SEC? Having said that, I believe that Ripple's attorneys have paid attention to everything so far, and that they will come up with a plan for both sides regardless of whether the case is denied or whether it goes in their favor. In any case, Ripple is presumably hoping that the judge will rule in favor of them and allow them to use this defense. Since it shows that a fair notice defense would totally overturn the SEC, that's why we brought it up. In addition to that, Ripple announced just before we enter the second week of November that they will be launching a new enterprise exchange in 2022. Even though we didn't see anything specifically relating to timeframes other than 2022. The truth is that this is what it will be, and this is why it will be huge. Therefore, the new exchange built specifically for enterprise applications is called the Ripple Liquidity Hub. Institutions and enterprises will be able to use this product, among other uses, to offer their end users and customers the option of buying, selling, and exchanging cryptocurrencies. Further, as the backbone of Ripple, the Ripple Liquidity Hub will facilitate everything behind the scenes. And here is one of the main uses of XRP and Ripple among the crypto community, which is that institutions can get involved without having to pre-fund it. For banks that now use this system, one of the things that make the on-demand liquidity system so significant is the fact that it not only eliminates the need for pre-funding, but also makes transactions much faster and cheaper. It is also important for banks to remove large amounts of money. Moreover, the underlying platform for this exchange is actually the same as the platform that's driving Ripple's on-demand liquidity system. Nonetheless, here's what customers are going to be able to access with this exchange. It's going to be a deep liquidity pool. In fact, a globally scalable liquidity pool that does away with the need for pre-funding, such as I mentioned. Additionally, it will offer features that other exchanges simply cannot compete with, such as smart order routing. Further, there is going to be an algorithm that helps them optimize the process so that when a transaction actually goes through, it actually searches numerous venues. These include exchanges, market makers, and OTC desks where big whales and institutions are buying crypto now to avoid affecting the price. In addition to this, to facilitate the exchange, it will scour all these places using Ripple's back-end liquidity pool. What they've done so far is mention that XRP will be their native asset for the Ripple Tech products that they use. Nevertheless, they're trying to introduce interoperability with basically everything with this product. In other words, upon the launch of this exchange, 6 different cryptocurrencies will be supported immediately. They're going to be Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, and Litecoin. Then, of course, there's XRP. So, who's going to use this platform, and why have volumes that large? The main ones will be the financial institutions. You will have the commercial banks, also you'll have the retail banks, and you will have the payment and remittance companies. Furthermore, everyone who's already using the on-demand liquidity system now has access to use it and provide crypto to their own customers. Furthermore, there could be other crypto exchanges that are either newly created or are already operating, and these existing ones may find it convenient to source crypto through Ripple's liquidity hub, at least for the 6 cryptocurrencies I mentioned earlier. Additionally, there are going to be other companies, other multinational companies, other large companies that will be able to use this to offer their clients the ability to purchase and trade cryptocurrencies. Therefore, what is it going to do for XRP? As a comparison, I think the best way to draw a comparison would be by looking at what the Binance coin has actually achieved through its position as the native asset for its parent exchange. By growing and growing in volume, the Binance exchange has seen the value of the Binance coin skyrocket. As for XRP, I will not lie and tell you it'll skyrocket because of this exchange, but it will skyrocket because of this and many other uses for which it's intended. With that said, you can probably imagine what XRP's possibilities areas would be, essentially acting as the underlying native asset for all these exchanges and the volume of transactions that could be processed through the Ripple Liquidity Hub. Further, I believe this could potentially be significantly bigger than the on-demand liquidity system that banks are actually using right now. Interestingly, one of the biggest crypto startups in the world, Ripple was founded privately in 2011 for $10 billion. Several investors have included venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, Japanese financial institution SBI Holdings, and Spanish bank Santander. But the company has been facing considerable headwinds due to the U.S. regulatory uncertainty. Nevertheless, Ripple reports that it's experiencing increased traction in other markets, including Japan and the UK, with an international volume of its ODL crypto product growing 25-fold since the third quarter of 2020. In fact, Burla stated, "Despite headwinds in the U.S. with the SEC, our traction with customers globally hasn't slowed down." In this way, Ripple's liquidity hub will surely send XRP prices to the moon, since it will be a huge benefit to institutions, thus adding to the numerous uses of Ripple XRP. That's all for this video about crypto, and thank you for watching. If you would like to receive updates on the crypto market, make sure you click the subscribe and bell button.